The three biggest problems that A&E firms have is they don't have time, they're over budget, and they're just not profitable. Those are the three biggest things and problems in any A&E firm. So what does this ultimately mean, right? And just like you, I've worked in A&E firms, designed millions of square feet from schools, hospitals, offices, dorms, you name it, I've done it. I'm Dylan Mitchell, licensed professional engineer in 6 states, and like everything in construction, right? We're under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, and that's just who I was, right? I was a guy that was stressed out, was under a lot of pressure. I'm not gray anymore, but I was gray at like 25, and it was just not a good place to be, right? I was responsible for Department of 10 as electrical department director. And like most of us, we just, we want to be outside like this, right? There's like a beautiful canyon back there. It's really cool. So this is a beautiful trail, and but this is the life that we all want, right? We want to be outside. We want to have more fun, do more things in life. And far too often, we're just doing little things that time consuming or stressful that really don't contribute like anything to the bottom line. So that's just way cool, right? But this is what we want to be. We want to be out here, we want to do cool things, and that's just what we want life to be. So as we go and produce construction documents and build these really complex buildings, from schools or hospitals or office buildings, any type of tower, any industrial manufacturing, anything, right? It's a big build. It's time consuming, takes months to complete. And through that, right, you want to try to get faster. And for years, this is the thing that I was trying to do. So you're in Revit, you've made the jump to BIM and Revit, and there's a lot of cool things you can do with Revit. It's so much faster than AutoCAD. But in that, it's also that you can create schedules, you can create all this stuff, you can put templates together, and that helps, marginally, right? But it's reducing the repetitive tasks is what you're really trying to do. And most of us are pretty good at that, right? We're pretty good at reducing all those repetitive tasks that we have to do on each and every project. And ultimately, really, I just wanted more time, more freedom, more time to be out here to go for a hike, or whatever it is for you, right? But I want some time freedom is ultimately what we're looking in our lives. And far too often, we don't have that, right? We're working 50, 60, 70-hour weeks. We're just pushing up against the clock on every single project, pushing deadline after deadline. And, even all the improvements that we made just weren't working out. And a lot of that, externally, we want to be out here, right? We want some freedom. But really all we're looking for is to live a happy life, to be happy, to be excited about going to work every day, not dreading the next deadline, the next milestone, anything like that. None of us like any of that. So really, as you go through all this stuff like I did, where you're trying to find the next template, the next iteration to make it better, right? You continue to fight against time. It's really what it is, against time, against tedious tasks, against all this BS that really just doesn't help, right? It doesn't help you to produce, ultimately, construction documents. That's what we're looking for. And drafting just takes and sucks so much time. And that's ultimately what we're fighting, right? We're fighting against time, against tedious tasks, against removing those from our lives. And as we go through all this, we want happiness. That's ultimately the key here. So for me, like my breaking point was really, I taken a new job. I'm 6 months in. I took it as a senior engineer. It was actually a step back for me. I was a department head leading a group of 10 people. We were doing a ton of K-12 work, millions of square feet a year, really, really cool stuff. And I took a step back because I wanted a little more client interaction. So I went from an A&E firm to an MEP firm, and was just going to be a senior engineer, like do just engineering work. And then 3-4 months in, I kind of became a department director and then a project manager, and I got thrown onto a hospital project. So the project manager who was leading it ultimately quit, and I was like the next best guy to take over. So here I am leading healthcare projects, which I'd never done any healthcare before. Like, this was my first go into healthcare, and through this, like, guess what type of project we were doing? 30 OR renovation. And if you know anything about the healthcare world, it's one of the most complicated, crazy parts of the hospital, and it's their money maker. So they care an awful lot about this section of the hospital. And so we're going through this project, stepping in, right? Know nothing about healthcare, and I'm the lead electrical engineer on the project. So that was even more complicated portion of this. So as I go through the project here, it's pretty incredible, really, that I get handed this. So here we are, like 6 months in, we're coming up on like DD deliverable, and I also had a vacation schedule. This is like end of January, beginning of February was when I was scheduled to go on vacation. And here I was living in Indianapolis at the time. So if you know anything about the Midwest, that time of year, it kind of sucks, right? Like, that's the time of year that it's cold, it's wet, it's miserable throughout the year. It's not good. So I was going to the beach, gonna be there for like 8 days, and doing this OR project. Couldn't get the help. Everyone else was just slammed. You know how that is within projects. So everybody's slammed. I couldn't get any help. This is my first foray into healthcare. So I'm combing through all the books, asking for help as much as I can. They don't have time, right? The story of our lives here in the A&E world, right? Nobody has time. Nobody can do anything. And through this whole process, like, I just got so stressed out. Here I am trying to lead a department, trying to get through other projects. Some other people in the department like quit or moved on to another role, and that's fine. Things happen, people move on. So more got put on my plate, and 2 days before I was supposed to go on this vacation, go to the beach from Indianapolis to Hawaii for a few days, I came down with this like rash, and I was like, what the heck? What is this thing? So here I am, I got this rash. It's on my chest, back. I feel like I'm just dying. And it's the worst thing. Like, it's just so much pain. It itches. Oh man. Like, just thinking about it, I can like feel the scars come back from this, and itchy, and we just woke up in pain. So I go into the doctor and, go through the whole thing, take my shirt off. He looks at it within like 2 seconds. Here I am thinking like, it's the end of the world. I got shingles, right? I'm like, I have not been around anybody with chicken pox. Haven't been around any little kids. Like, never got chicken pox as a kid. Like, how do I have shingles? Like, how is this possible? How is this the thing that I have, right? Like, what's going on? Okay, and then it's like, all right, I've got it, fine. What's next? Like, what do we do to take care of this? How quick does this go away? He's like, you got about 10 days before it goes away, and you can take these antivirals and some ibuprofen, and Tylenol to like deal with the pain portion of this deal, because it's super painful. If you've had anybody or know anybody that's had shingles, man, it is. I do not wish that on my like worst enemy. It's a painful thing, no good for anybody. And so here I am 2 days before getting on a plane to go and sit on a beach. And of course, through this, right, there's no drinks, there's no Mai Tais, there's no beers, no Corona on the beach, right? Which was what I was hoping. Like, I just finished this deadline on this hospital project, but just due to all the stress, like, it wrecked vacation. And that was really my turning point, that like, I can't deal with all this stress. And you look around the industry, like, so many people have heart conditions, or they've had heart attacks, or a stroke, or they've got high blood pressure, they're overweight, they're stress eating, right? Like, just all these health problems are very, very prevalent within the industry. And it's not something that I wish on anybody, but you look around, it's so prevalent through the industry. It's just so problematic. Like, people aren't out here seeing these awesome views, right? That's not what we're doing. And it's so problematic, that nobody can really enjoy life is what we want. Like, look at that. That's amazing. That is truly incredible. So here I am sitting on the beach, and I'm like, something's got to change. We've tried everything. We've tried these template updates. We've tried these family updates. We've tried everything under the sun, like in Revit. Like, there's got to be a different and better solution for all of this. So what if I created something? What if, we were able to find a way to do this? Now, so I was sitting there, I was thinking back to the days of working on the Oculus Rift. So the original Oculus Rift, or the development kit 2 that they released before Facebook bought them, I was working in an A&E firm. It was one of the first A&E firms actually to get one of these. It's that virtual reality headset, which is pretty cool. And so we were messing around with it, and we're able to get our Revit models actually into virtual reality. This is way back in 2014. So pretty cool thing that we were able to do with this and get our Revit models so that you could walk through them virtually, right? And I was thinking back to that process and how we were able to, bring our models in and walk through them with an Xbox controller, and that was just sweet, right? And so here I am sitting on the beach, right? Not the mountain view here, but beach view, and just how cool it was to be able to do that. And then some of the software stuff that we went through to make that all happen, to get it connected. I'm like, is there a way that we could use software to automate what we do as engineers, right? There's some basic rules, right? You want a light switch by the door. You want, a receptacle evenly spaced on every wall, or dead center in every wall in an office or dorms, 5 feet from the door, 12 feet on center. Some of those rules, you want a couple panels in each electrical room. You want lighting based on, foot candle requirements. So basic stuff, right? The things that we do all the time. I was like, it's kind of programmatic, in how we do things. Maybe in a storage room, you want something 6 inches from the door, just as a convenience receptacle in a storage room. So I was like, okay, maybe we can develop something. And from that point, 6 months later, I quit my job, started Kowabunga Studios, and moved across the country. At the time, I was also dating a girl that lived out here. I'm in California now. This is California. This is in the Sierra foothills. So pretty amazing views, right? It's a big valley. There's a river actually at the bottom of that, right? Right in there. And so out here in the Sierra foothills, moved from Indianapolis, and I never thought I'd be in California, but love does that for you. Right, so married now, and it's cool, right? So I moved across the country, started my company, worked on it full time, and did this whole thing to programmatically create, basically design documents for electrical engineers. So you can, you've got each room, you place each element, and it places them through each and every room. So you no longer have to do all this work, right? It was a thing that we've tried for years, through templates, through all the stuff I've talked about, tried for years to do. And software, I found, was the only way to do that, right? If you remember back to our 3 big problems, right, that we don't have enough time, constantly over budget, and we're not profitable, this kind of solves every one of them, right? Not enough time. Well, you can now place thousands of elements, and you're going to do it in minutes versus months for some of these projects. So a 40,000 square foot building can be done in 15 minutes for design documents. Figure another 45 minutes to review it, make sure that you have the right things that you want for your deliverables in there. So say an hour for deliverable, that's pretty amazing, right? For a 3-story, 40,000 square foot office building. And now you save all that time. So you're no longer worried about time. You're way under budget. And now you can be more profitable, right? You can do more projects in the same amount of time. And for engineering firms, that's huge, right? And one of the ancillary problems of that is you don't have enough people, which is why you don't have enough time, and you can't hire enough people because they just don't, they don't exist. You got to train them, spend more time with them, which you kind of run into the same problems, right? Not enough time, over budget, and that it creates a ton of problems. So this kind of solves every one of those problems for the industry, you know, by automating these placements for your building, where you can place everything and then move on to the other projects in construction documents to do that engineering that you need to do, right? Have somebody run it and then spend your time, you know, making sure it's coordinated, making sure the engineering's right, reducing the E&O time, or reducing E&Os on projects because you spend more time on construction documents, final coordination, all that kind of stuff. And that's really what makes a project go super well, is spending that time in final CDs that we're usually just rushing out the door to get to happen. And so I want you guys to understand that this was built out of necessity. This was built from my own experience in the industry, and really that I just looked around and saw so many people with health problems that were stressed out, that didn't have enough time to do anything, and it was just super problematic. So here at Kowabunga Studios, we created this solution for you guys to automate through your electrical design documents. It'll place your lights, your receptacles, your switches, your aux sensors, your fire alarm devices, your panels throughout your entire facility or whatever rooms you want, and just do it in minutes. It's gonna save you so much time. It's gonna make your life way easier, and then you can, you know, be out here, right? This is a pretty beautiful trail. So this is these are part of the Sierras here. So it's all granite actually under there, which is pretty cool. But through that, right, you're gonna be able to just save time, live a better life. That's what we want. Be profitable, save, like, work a normal 40-hour week and still get all of our stuff done, right? That's what we want. We want to have a good project that's consistent, and that, you know, you get people coming hungover. And I mean, I was like that. I drank too much because I was so stressed and trying to find a way to relieve the pain. So for any guys out there, I mean, software automation is the way that you're going to save time, is the way that you're going to live a better life. And it's really the core solution to really most of your problems within the industry. Now, it's not going to solve communication, but it'll give you more time to get through projects. And that's the whole point here. So you can click the link below. There's 2 links. I'll give you a choice. You know, if you'd watch like through the videos here on, you know, how our software works, what it does, all that kind of good stuff. Or you just book a call with me, and I'd be more than happy to walk through with you and help guide you into making a decision on which solution is right for you. We have one for low voltage. We have a solution that'll automate your sheet creation and view creation for your project. So we can really go from, like, you got a model, create all your views and sheets, like project setup, to design documents in 15 minutes. It's pretty amazing. So anyway, below there's 2 links, 2 choices. I'll give you a choice. Book a call with me, or you can just invest now, right? Those are 2 simple solutions. So book a call or invest, and we look forward to helping you, your team, live a better life, get through projects so much easier, so much faster, and really be more profitable. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Make a choice. Book a meeting, invest. Choice is yours. We look forward to helping you.